Good evening. Welcome to Currituck County Schools Board of Education meeting for December 16th, 2021. I call this meeting of the Currituck County Board of Education to order. At this time, I would like to ask Daniel Walker to lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Daniel. This time, Mr. Juan Kraft will lead us in our invocation.
Thank you. Hope. If you only carry one thing throughout your entire life, let it be hope. Let it be hope that better things are always ahead. Let it be hope that you can get through even the toughest of times. Let it be hope that you are stronger than any challenge that comes your way. Let it be hope that you are exactly where you are meant to be right now, and you are on the path to where you are meant to be, because during these times, hope will be the very thing that carries you through. And this is by Nikki Banas. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Kraft. And if I could ask everyone to pause for a moment of silence for a longtime employee that recently passed, Miss Martha Jo Snowden, if you'd bow your heads. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to turn our meeting over to our Superintendent, Dr. Matt Lutz.
All right. Okay, I get to have the meeting once a year for a brief period of time. Okay. Do I have a nomination for Chairman of the Board?
Yes, I'd like to nominate Karen Etheridge.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Second from Mrs. Rose. Any discussion?
Supposed to ask for other nominations.
Is there a second nomination? Having none? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? I will now turn the meeting back over to our chairman. Congratulations.
Thank
And
you.
thank you again for serving in this role.
Well, thank you very much. That means a lot to me, and I appreciate the support of my fellow board members. I really do, and it means a lot to me. So I'll try to make you proud. At this time, we are asking for any nominations for vice chair, and I would like to make a nomination of Miss Janet Rose. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. I said aye.
Yeah, I know, but I forgot to ask, do you have
any other
Do I have
nominations?
any other nominations? Any other nominations from, okay. If not, all those in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Ms. Janet Rose,
Thank you.
congratulations.
I appreciate that, fellow members.
Public comment session. The public comment session is a time when an individual or a group can address the board about our schools. This is not a time to speak about issues or concerns involving identifiable personnel or students. Matters of this nature should be submitted in writing to the superintendent, and your concerns will be addressed. Individuals or groups will be called in order in which they've signed up and will be asked to limit their remarks to 3 minutes. We had one individual sign up tonight. Mr. Jason Smith, if you would come forward. Thank you for being here. If you'll state your name and your current address.
Jason Smith, 187 St. Andrews Road in Moyock.
Okay, thank you.
Good evening, school board members. I'm here this evening to express my displeasure with the ongoing school mask mandate. I'm sure that you have seen that Chesapeake is returning to mask optional beginning next semester. This is great news for their students, parents, and faculty. I hope you all can find the courage to make the same decision. However, I am a little worried that lifting the mandate immediately following the holiday break could be bad timing. traveling, social gatherings, and weather typically lead to more colds being spread. The last thing I would want to see is another flip-flop. But the quarantine requirement should change, and the mask mandate needs to end. Aside from that, I just wanted to thank you all for your hard work and dedication to our kids, and I wish you a festive, fun holiday season. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Smith, for being here and taking the time to come out tonight. Do I have a motion to approve tonight's agenda?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Agenda is approved. Our student board members will be reporting tonight on all of our schools. First, if Mr. Daniel Walker wants to start us off.
Thank you, and good evening. I'd like to start off with Central Elementary School. Central Eagles have been busy blending holiday fun with learning. We are celebrating Christmas around the world by learning about traditions in other countries and sharing these traditions throughout our school. Students have enjoyed a visit from a local author, Mr. Buddy White, who is also a former drama teacher for Currituck High School. Our students enjoyed listening to his story, Tinky the Elf. We are wrapping up December with a Christmas concert presented by the Currituck County Middle School Band and a sing-along hosted by a very talented music teacher, Miss Banks. We wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Currituck County High School. CCHS and CCMS collaborated and performed the Christmas Story musical this past weekend. Thank you, Miss Santa, for the collaboration with Currituck County Middle School, and congratulations to the cast of the Christmas Story musical. The CCHS Jazz Band and Concert Band executed an excellent annual concert this week. Thank you, Mr. Weeks, and participants. Congratulations to the girls' 4x8 relay team on their indoor track state qualification. They had an amazing time of 10 minutes, 48 seconds, one of the fastest times in school history. Congratulations to Kylie Dinterman, Reagan Daniel, Serenity Doran, and Ashley Ranke. Our winter dance, An Enchanted Winter Night, will be held tomorrow, and the CCHS Athletic Booster Club is providing our students with another safe night of fun. Currituck County Middle School. The band students performed their first band concert of the year with a holiday special last Thursday afternoon and evening. Our chorus also performed a holiday tribute last night for our first time this year as well. The Raider Roundtable Club has been sponsoring a non-perishable food drive this week from December 13th through the 17th, along with hosting our Christmas Spirit Week. So far this week, we have collected many canned good items for families. These items will be donated to the Lower Currituck Food Pantry. Griggs Elementary School. On Saturday, November 20th, 2021, W.T. Griggs and Central Elementary School were co-hosts to the Color Run held on the campus of Central Elementary School. There were 261 runners, 22 volunteers, and lots of color in the air. A big thank you to Miss Pam Younger and Miss Christina McDonough for organizing this great event. Everyone had a great time. We would like to recognize our custodial and child nutrition staff for their exemplary inspection reports dated November 29th. The school building received an A, and the cafeteria had a perfect 100% score. The following comment was added to the school inspection report. Great job with keeping the school neat and clean. Keep up the amazing work. We will close out the last day of school before winter break with our annual sing-along from 10 to 10:30 in the school auditorium. We are looking forward to a great time singing all of our favorite Christmas and holiday songs with our students, staff, and parents. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to all. In Jarvisburg Elementary School. Jarvisburg had our Santa Bingo event sponsored by our PTA JAGS last Thursday. It was a great turnout. Spirit Week is currently underway in addition to our holiday door decorating contest. The halls are literally decked for the holidays at Jarvisburg Elementary School. We enjoyed a visit from the CCMS band and chorus today, getting us all into the holiday spirit. Coach Martin is actively preparing students and staff for our annual reindeer races on the 17th, and Miss Banks will be conducting our Christmas sing-along on Friday the 17th as well. We are happy to welcome our families to this event at 2 p.m. Students and staff are looking forward to the extended break. Thank you to the board members and Dr. Lutz for that. We wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thank you.
Thank you, Daniel. Albert?
Good evening. I wish all of you a happy holidays. I'll start off with JP Knapp Early College. Students at JPK finished strong at COA this semester. JP Knapp students took a total of 456 courses with 74% of all grades reported as A or Bs and 86 in the A to C range for transferable college credit. COA spring classes begin January 7th. JPK recruitment for 8th graders begins in January. 8th graders should be on the lookout for detailed recruitment informations at both middle schools. We will also share recruitment details through our social media accounts and on the JPK school website. Knott's Island Elementary School. As we prepare for our extended holiday break, our students have been busy with not only schoolwork, but with all the extra special things that go along with this time of year. We welcomed former Currituck County High School drama teacher, Mr. Buddy White, to our building. Since retiring, he has published a Christmas book called Tinky the Elf, which he graciously read to all of our students. He then was kind enough to answer questions from our students about his experiences from first coming up with the story to the end product. We have some budding writers and artists who are very interested in the process. Having someone speak to them and take time to listen to their questions can only help to encourage those students' visions of where they could be and what they could do as they grow up. Who knows? Maybe one day we'll have a Knott's Island Elementary School alumni come back and read their book to our students. Finally, Knott's Island Elementary School will be welcoming the community to our school tomorrow at 6 p.m. in our gym to see the premiere of our holiday play, North Pole's Got Talent. Our students are very proud of the hard work they have been putting in over the last several months and are anxious to finally perform live on stage. So, from our little school on the island, we want to wish everyone a very joyful holiday season. Moyock Elementary School. The MES Panthers are in full force with the holiday season. Students have been conducting holiday STEM projects and have been learning about holidays and traditions around the world. The PTA held its annual Santa Shop event this past weekend, along with Santa pictures and Penguin Patch shopping for family members. Looking ahead, Moyock Elementary School is working hard to plan the 2022 Boosterthon Glow Run event, being held in February. Several community businesses have already signed up as sponsors in providing T-shirts for each student and staff member for the event. The Moyock Elementary School Panthers wish everyone a Merry Christmas and joyful holiday break. Moyock Middle School. Moyock Middle School hosted our first band concert since the COVID outbreak. Many joyful noises were shared with a packed gymnasium of happy families. Moyock Middle is also finalizing our $15,000 North Carolina Heritage-sponsored Go Outside grant, with tweaks to replace items that are no longer offered by vendors due to supply backups. We hope to have our outdoor learning labs up and running by spring of 2022. Charbrough Elementary School. Charbrough Elementary will host our awards program for the first semester on Friday, January 7th. We will allow parents to attend in person, but we will also have a virtual option available. We are still looking for individual or business sponsors for our Fun Run t-shirts. Purchase ad space on the back of our students' t-shirts to have 700 walking billboards. Contact the school for more information. From our school to you, we hope everyone has a safe and happy winter break.
Thank you, Albert. At this time, I ask that Miss Jamie Miller come to the podium. She's our Exceptional Children's Director, and she's doing a fantastic job, and she's going to update us on a few things concerning that department.
Good evening.
Hi.
Madam Chairman and other members of the board, thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak with you tonight and share a little bit of information about the EC department. So for those of you who did not have a career in education, I want to give you just a little overview of how a child becomes identified as an exceptional child. So a student will be referred for possible special education services. This referral could come from the parent, the pediatrician, the MTSS team, or our early intervention agencies. After they're referred, comprehensive evaluations are completed for that student specific to the eligibility categories in question. In the state of North Carolina, we have 14 eligibility categories that can be considered. Just because a student is identified under one of those categories does not necessarily mean that they will receive services. There's a three-prong criteria for receiving EC services. Next, the team of people review all the data and information gathered and determine if that child meets the eligibility criteria. That team of people has to include an administrator from the school, a general education teacher, a special education teacher, and the child's parents. If the child is determined eligible, then an IEP is created. The IEP team must meet at least once per year to create a new annual IEP based on new updated information. Then every 3 years, they must meet to determine if the child continues to be eligible and request updated evaluations if needed. So just to keep that in mind when we look at our numbers of EC students in the different schools, that every one of those students requires at least one meeting per year, sometimes one meeting per month, depending on the needs of that child. And in that meeting, an administrator, a gen ed teacher, and an EC teacher is required to attend. For students that move here from out of state, especially in the northern part of our county, with an active IEP, we have to treat them as a brand new initial referral, so that whole process starts over for them.
To clarify, that means that even when a child comes to us with an IEP, we have to do the entire process because they're coming from another state. Quite arduous for both Ms. Miller's department and the child and parents.
It is, because that first meeting has to be scheduled within the first 10 days of school. So on our end, for the students that we know are moving up to the next grade, we hold all meetings possible through October 31st. So when we start the new school year, we can get to know our students, get new data. But when they move in, we're required to go ahead and meet then within 10 days. So to give you a little overview of our program, we have a preschool program. Miss Rebecca Palumbo is our preschool coordinator that oversees this. We have 60 students in the program, 29 of which are identified as exceptional children. That's as of today. This is a number that steadily grows. She works very closely with early intervention and doctor's offices, so when we return after break, we'll have 63 in the program as they hit their 3rd birthday. And this is a number that continuously grows. There's some of our preschool babies getting ready for Christmas and learning in their classrooms. They're the sweetest classrooms to visit if you're in the schools. They'll really fill your bucket. Next, we have our elementary schools. So out of the 6 elementary schools that we have 276 EC students. That's 12.6% of the elementary school age population. We have 14.5 EC teachers and 16 EC teacher TAs to support these students. Not every elementary school has the same programs. So some of our more centrally located schools might have low incidence classrooms that have students with higher needs that may require a bit more staff. So that's why you might wonder why some of the smaller schools have higher numbers of staff compared to the larger schools. And keep in mind that the state and federal funding, they fund us up to 12.75%. So if we were to go over that amount of students eligible for EC, we would not receive any funding for them.
Even though we have to serve them.
Yes. Okay, here's some of our elementary school babies learning in their classrooms. In our middle schools, we have 99. As of today, we have 100. We just had a child move into district. And those 100 students are supported by 5 EC teachers and 5 ECTAs. And we do have 1 vacant position still at Moyock Middle School that we're working to fill. And then at our high schools, we have 141 EC students, 10.9% of the high school population. That is supported with 10 EC teachers and 4 EC teacher assistants. And these are some of our EC students who were working with the CTE department to make birdhouses. In addition to the teachers and TAs, we have itinerant staff that serve multiple schools in the district. We have 3 school psychologist positions available. 1 has not been filled, even though it's been posted for over a year and a half. This year, we're lucky to have a graduate intern in the school psychology department from ECU with us to help fill that gap, and she's been absolutely lovely. We have 5 speech therapists, and then you can see the number of OTs, PTs, behavior support. We have a part-time deaf and hard of hearing teacher, visually impaired teacher, orientation and mobility, and then we have an administrative assistant that we share with student services. We also have a vacancy in our speech department that we're working to fill. Our EC leadership team consists of 4 people, one of which is myself, and the other 3 which have full-time responsibilities and duties with their actual job in addition to the leadership responsibilities. But these 3 women help keep our foundation, or help keep our department afloat. They're the foundation of our department, and they work with monitoring, compliance, teacher support, mentoring, and problem solving. For our funding, the main source of EC funds and revenue comes from state funds that are based on our April 1 head count. So the students that are identified as EC with an active IEP on April 1st generate the funds for the following year. Our federal funding streams are based on our December 1 head count. And then we have Medicaid funds that we use to also support the department, and the Medicaid funds are generated by EC staff members that bill for therapy services. We have other competitive state and federal grants that are available for different districts to apply for, and we apply for every single one that we are eligible to receive. And then we're always searching for additional funding sources and funding streams that would help support the cost of EC. So we have some really wonderful, exceptional things happening in the EC department, despite the vacancies that we've had in our department that have been really hard to fill. We've really seen some of our staff members and our students just shine and show up for each other and support each other, and it's been really wonderful to witness. We've had the Special Olympics. We've partnered with Currituck County, specifically the Parks and Rec Department, to host the Special Olympics event for our kiddos in district. So we're having 2 in-district events. This was the one from October, and Currituck County helps support the cost of uniforms, meals, transportation, trophies, and everything for these kids to enjoy. We have another one in February that we'll be hosting as well. We also have specific teachers and staff members that have really stepped up to the plate this year and filled in for vacancies that we've had. Some of these teachers have agreed to teach students in other schools, whether it's virtually or going in person during their planning bell, to make sure that these kids receive adequate instruction. Some of it's covering caseloads and IEP for compliance issues, or filling in and taking over a class when we've had a hard time getting substitutes. So I just want to bring special recognition to these and many more, but to these teachers who have really helped us this school year. And then we also have some community agencies and organizations that really support the EC department specifically. We have the Currituck Education Foundation. They never fail to nominate an EC teacher for a grant each year, sometimes multiple teachers, and that's really wonderful. We have Currituck Kids. They never say no. They always step up if a child needs assistance with glasses or a hearing aid, or they need help getting to doctor's appointments. They're always willing to help fund that. We have the Knights of Columbus from the beach. They donate a large portion of funds to our EC department to help teachers offset the cost of classroom materials every year. They just called today, as a matter of fact, with our donation for this year. And then we have the OBX Community Foundation, which specifically works to support EC students in local school districts. So without them, we wouldn't have that extra additional funds to help buy the specialized materials needed for the students in these classrooms. So that is the end of my presentation. So thank you all for the opportunity.
I have a question.
Dr. Dobney?
Does your department deal with the 504 plans that some students have, or is
We
that
do
just
not.
school-based?
We do not. We only deal with the IDEA federal regulations for exceptional children, not the 504.
Okay.
I have a question, too.
Yes, ma'am.
I know you mentioned we get funding from multiple avenues, state, federal, and grants, as many as we can get, but do we also use local funds when we need to educate children outside of our system that have IEPs, correct?
We do. We use different local, state, and federal sources to help offset that cost.
Okay.
I know you mentioned about when children transfer from other states, is it the same if they come from another county within North Carolina? Do we have
No,
to start all
if
over?
they're coming from within the state, then we can honor the IEP that they come with. Unless, as we get to know them and collect data, if changes need to be made, then we would meet to make those changes.
And is it always hard to fill these positions, or is this something new since COVID, or is it a high turnover?
It is a high turnover. It's a very hard job. The amount of federal regulations and policies that we have to abide by can be really daunting. So turnover has always happened, but it is increasing. We've never had turnover to this level.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
So Jamie, and I want to applaud her for her efforts over the last, is it 3 years?
3 years tomorrow.
3 years
3
tomorrow?
years tomorrow.
Okay. Her vision and her work ethic and for her department is, she does not like to hear all the different praises, but she needs to hear it. She has really done an outstanding job, and while it feels somewhat daunting with some of the turnover, we've also added staff so that we're making sure that we serve our kids, and that's her vision to make sure that occurs. She also moonlights as a grant writer to make sure that her department is able to fund positions to support our kids and our teachers. And that, we said it half jokingly, but she raises a lot of funds and from her own cause to make sure that our children are served. So I wanted to thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I applaud you.
Thank you.
And Jamie, tell us where you obtained your kindergarten through 12th grade education.
The elementary education was East Carolina University. My master's degree in special education was Old Dominion University. What?
When you were in kindergarten through
12th.
12th grade?
She
I was like, I
she
didn't
was
know
really
you'd ask me
smart.
our credentials. I'm a Currituck County native.
There
Proudly
you
a
go.
Currituck County native.
We're
Raising Currituck County children.
we are proud of you.
She's homegrown. Thank you,
Excellent
Jamie.
job.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Miss Virginia Arrington, if you'll step forward and give us an update on student services and mask in schools. We haven't talked about that topic in several months.
No, it's been a really
I'm just
long
kidding.
time.
I'm just kidding.
Every month.
Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the board, Dr. Lutz. Thank you again for the opportunity to come forward and share updated information. As we get started this evening, with COVID the past couple of years, the school nursing position has not been what it usually is, and it is not what the nurses expected when they were hired onto the school system. The role has been added to with contact tracing, numerous parent contacts, and then the diagnostic testing. And they have all done a fantastic job, and we would like to recognize them.
Absolutely.
So we just wanted to take this time to put some names and faces with schools. We have Miss Nurse Paula at Not Silent Elementary, and she started this school year. She lives in Not Silent, and she's been a fantastic addition to their staff. Nurse Jen at Central, Lisa Forehand at Shawboro Elementary, Stacy Curran at Jarvisburg, Leanne Blake at Griggs, and Brittany Anderson at Moyac Elementary. Then we have Vicki Barrera at Currituck County Middle and Charlene Corbett at Moyac Middle. And you can see they have photography skills too. At the high schools, Nikki Broom is at Currituck County High School and Colette Shepard is at J.P. Knapp Early College. So just a quick update on the mental health legislation that is required by the state. Our due date again is December 21st, which is right around the corner. We did extend that deadline so teachers could use the optional work days next week to complete that. The last check I did on the report was last Friday, and 296 staff members, or 67%, have completed the training, with an additional 59 staff members completing between 60 and 90%. Lots of those folks were at 80 or 90%, almost complete. And the infamous Kevin Goins wanted me to do a song for you this evening.
I think that's a great idea.
I graciously declined, so you'd have to listen to my singing. But Knott's Island, as of yesterday, Knott's Island is the first school for 100% of their staff to complete that. Child nutrition staff, with the direction of Angela Rodriguez, is now working on completing the training, and their deadline is the end of January. So now to our COVID updates. So here's our positives and quarantines. The chart that you see is the same with the addition of the dates from November 15th through December 10th, with the additional 46 positives and 66 quarantines.
After Thanksgiving.
Yes, ma'am. Here's the positivity rate and quarantine rate. Again, we just added that last bit of information on the graph so that you can see continues to be a slight decrease there. Positive cases each week, again, continuing to decrease. So with the COVID diagnostic testing, we're up to 1,512 staff members and students that have signed up for the testing program. And as of December 9th, 729 tests were given, 116 tests were positive, and the turnaround average time now is about 13 hours. Last time it was about 9. It had steadily stayed about 9. But as you can see, more people are signing up and more people are getting tested. But if a student is tested one day, then by the next morning they have their results. And depending on the reason why they got tested, they could return to school that next day or the day after versus 2 or 3 days out. Again, with the COVID vaccines, the Pfizer COVID vaccine is available for children 5 and older. And if anybody's interested in that for their child, they can contact the Currituck County Health Department for an appointment, or they can see their child's pediatrician. In addition to this, the booster shots are available for students ages 11 through 18, and again, through the Currituck County Health Department or through their child's pediatrician. I want to end by recognizing 2 community partners. First of all, Currituck Kids. Currituck Kids provides an allowance, for lack of a better word, to our school nurses each quarter. And Leanne Blake is our liaison. And nurses they tell her what they need, and then she is the person that goes out and purchases the items that the nurses request. And that usually includes clothing and snack items. They also work with the school counselors, K-8, to supplement the backpack program over the Christmas break. And I'm sure over spring break they will as well. I'd also like to thank Beloved Haven. Stephanie Benton, who is associated with Beloved Haven, spoke to the nurses and the counselors about trafficking in Northeast North Carolina and what that looks like in our area, because it does happen in our area. And this aligns with our mental health training that's required by the state. And her presentation was very eye-opening for folks.
I bet.
And that's all I have for this evening. Any questions?
No, but I would like to make a motion based on the information that Virginia gave us, that we go mask optional effective January the 18th, which would be like a 2-week post-Christmas break for any outbreaks of the COVID. However, I still think we should have athletes wearing masks on the bench to avoid waylaying their whole season by having an outbreak.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor to make mask optional starting January 18th, giving time when we get back from Christmas break for a couple weeks to hopefully get back on track. And then that includes, your motion includes for the athletes on the bench to have a mask.
I think we still need to
and
have
then
them.
we still have to have masks on the buses.
And the buses have to have them. That's a federal law.
Okay.
So we didn't even have to have that. I mean, that's a federal law.
Right, we have to have that. Okay, we have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed?
Aye. Oh, no, I for in favor, but I was hoping you would ask for discussion.
Discussion? Any discussion? Yes, go ahead.
Yes,
Mr.
I
Donovan.
thought, what our speaker tonight was
Yes.
Jason Smith.
Mr. Smith, uh-huh.
Yeah, when he got up to begin with,
Yeah.
it was very insightful that, it would be good to start, later on, just in case of the holiday, gatherings that could bring more of
Out of
COVID into our
town,
stuff.
they're traveling,
Absolutely.
and
But then again, Dewan said January 18th,
Yeah.
so.
that goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
Well, that's about 2 weeks
Yeah.
because when do we start back in January?
I believe the kids are back the 7th.
So 5th to the 18th, that's roughly 2 weeks, so yeah.
But
And then
probably-
you can see the spike, like what Virginia showed
Thanksgiving.
after Thanksgiving, and we're probably going to have the same thing, so I think that date is probably in line.
But I would think most of the kids getting together with families will be done by New Year's.
Yes.
Right, so that gives.
They're traveling, and that'll give us a good couple of weeks.
And if, of course, if we see that things are going in the wrong direction, then, we'll have to either special meet or meet soon after
Yeah.
and make adjustments. But it's time for us to get started. Everyone who wants to have a vaccine has that ability now. So.
Entity.
And they can keep wearing a mask.
And they can
Always
keep wearing a mask
appreciate-
if they choose.
And we always appreciate all this, the parents, the staff, everyone who reaches out. This is why we're hoping to move forward, because we do try to listen and we understand. Many of us wear masks. If you're in education, or I wear masks all day, I understand. So I appreciate everyone who's, voiced their opinion.
Okay.
Madam Chairman, could I ask for a revote so nobody misconstrues my vote?
Yes, sir, we can. Okay, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. So, Ms. Jones, January 18th, and then with those provisions, with mask mandatory on the sidelines and then on the buses. Thank you, Ms. Arrington.
And Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas
Merry
to you.
Christmas.
Christmas, thank you.
Yes. Yes, students and staff.
Yes.
And talking about the mask, I did attend that recent play, the Christmas Story play, and it was wonderful. The students, the actors did not wear masks.
Right.
And I had attended the one previously where they did, and this one was just much more enjoyable, being able to see their facial expressions and hear them better, and so I was happy that they had that opportunity.
Well, that's what, we talk about masks all the time, and I think reiterating that we as a board, we don't like the mask. We would rather not have masks, but our number one priority, of course, is our students and our staff, to keep them in school, keep them in the classroom. So that's why we vote the way we do, and we receive a lot of criticism, for the way we vote, but again, I'm just going to say, safety for our kids is number one in my book, and if that's what it takes, and I get people upset with me, so be it. So I think we're on the right path.
I agree.
January 18th, we'll keep a close eye on it. Ms. Virginia Arrington does that on a daily basis. Dr. Lutz reports to us on a daily basis. We get the numbers every single day, and so I'm looking forward to it. So hopefully we're on the road to recovery.
Yeah, also,
teens are
parents
always-
need to know that kids still have to wear masks on the school buses because that's federal law.
The federal law.
We'll make sure we push that out with our
Control over
messaging.
that. Some things are out of our control. Okay. Thank you. Field trips. Dr. Matt Lutz will update us on our field trips.
Well, we do have a field trip coming up, and that is for Colonel Grimes. He is taking a group to Washington, D.C. Leaving on the 19th of December and returning on the 21st. Not quite Hawaii, but nonetheless a great trip for kids.
I don't know, but I'm very impressed with his itinerary.
Yeah.
I was too.
He
Absolutely.
has everything down. Parents have no reason not to
Worry.
know where their kids
No,
are at any
and no
given
reason
time.
to worry.
That's right.
And that's going to be a great trip for our kids.
Yes, it is.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Lutz. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Consent agenda is approved. Information items. We have our work session scheduled for January 20th, 2022 at the Knapp Professional Learning Center starting at 4 p.m. and then followed by our regularly scheduled Board of Education meeting here at the historic Currituck County Courthouse at 6:30. Board member and superintendent comments. I would like to call on Miss Kelly Peters.
I just wanted to start off with, I went to the play, A Christmas Story, and it was great. Great job to Mrs. Santa and all the students and staff that were involved. And I believe our students, they started in fourth grade and up, so they did a really good job. It was really enjoyable to see that. I volunteered at the Knott's Island Santa shop for the PTA, and that was a lot of fun. The kids always enjoy shopping and wrapping, so that's always fun. And I actually, during lunch, I went to the lunchroom and volunteered myself to sit with the students, and some of the assistants were so appreciative of that. So I encourage anyone, if you don't want to spend all day, just go to the schools and volunteer to sit with lunch. I know that they enjoy just having a peaceful lunch for 15 or 20 minutes, so that was a lot of fun. And I think everyone should take a time to go out there and check on YouTube. The CCHS is doing the morning news, and that's a great thing. We have so many things going on, and a lot of young broadcast, maybe new journalists from Currituck. So go out there and see that. And we just, during our work session, a lot of our principals and directors were there, and we did, recognize a lot of them and tell them what a great job they're doing. There is a lot going on in all the schools. There's so much fun and activities, and you can tell that they're all working really hard to make that happen. So we appreciate all that and the staff, and I just want to wish all of our students, staff, and families to have a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year and stay safe.
Thank you, Ms. Peters. Ms. Rose?
Well, I've had the opportunity to attend several things that are going on our schools. There's the chorus and the band and the play and basketball games. And I want to give a shout out to the volunteers and the faculty members who work extra in the evenings to provide these experiences for our children. Whether it's bingo with Santa or vendor fair or dances or reading night, I know it's extra time, but our children benefit so much. I'd like to wish our faculty, staff, and students a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I hope that you all will just take time to rest and relax and enjoy yourself.
Thank you, Ms. Rose. Dr. Dobney?
Yes, first I'd like to congratulate you for being reelected as chairman, and Janet for being reelected as vice chairman. And I'd like to wish fellow board member Dwan Kraft a happy birthday today.
Today? Oh, we have to sing.
She said she
again.
Yeah.
Big 5-0.
And a special shout out to the sheriff's department for, installing the speed radar signs that are near all our schools now. And I've got a story. You said you sat in for a teacher so she could go to a holiday luncheon, and I sat in for a teacher at Central Elementary School a few years ago, and they said, any particular grade? I said, well, I'll take the preschool handicap.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, wow. I mean, the teacher gave them a signal, kids sat down, paid attention. As soon as she walked out of the room, those kids ran me ragged.
Took advantage of you.
Oh, yeah. And I'd also like to wish everyone a safe, happy holiday season.
Thank you, Dr. Dobney. Ms. Kraft?
Yes. So I attended two elementary school Santa shops, Shelburne Elementary and Moyock Elementary, and I also went to the play at the high school. It was a wonderful job by all the students and Miss Santa. This morning I traveled over to Knott's Island for their dress rehearsal for their Christmas play, North Pole Got Talent. They're performing that tomorrow night, but I got an invitation for the dress rehearsal because I can't be there tomorrow night. And it was fantastic. And every student at Moyock Elementary School sang happy birthday to me this morning. I mean, at Knott's Island Elementary School. It was wonderful. It was really wonderful. I also visited J.P. Knapp. I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, and I want you to take time for yourself and enjoy your families. And lastly, I want to give a shout out to Skylar Mentor and her family. Our community and our schools have rallied around that family, and I know that the mentors would tell you the very same thing, that we've prayed, the students have gone out there. I think there's not room on her walls for anything else, because the students have just plastered it with get well wishes and that kind of thing, and it makes me proud to be a Currituckian. So thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Kraft. Dr. Lutz?
It's been again, you think about the different events, and one of the great events we had in between was the Christmas parade on the 3rd, and I know that Officer McCord had a big part of that, and I think it was the largest that we've had. We managed to bring him the 3rd place trophy. It was quite the challenge, given that goes to Miss Dowdy over there. But a great parade for sure.
I saw it.
About 1,500 people were there. I mean, it was long and it was lengthy, and it was a really nice event. Congratulations to Ms. Susan Mizell, who is our new finance officer.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I also wanted to mention some good news in terms of bonuses that are coming out from the state. Our teachers and all employees will receive a bonus in January, and we'll make sure that also covers our local employees as well, because it speaks to state employees, but it will cover all of our employees, and we have a large number of employees that are funded through local dollars only, and we'll make sure that everyone is taken care of. Some information out there has said that bonus is going to all state workers prior to the new year, but schools, due to a number of other implications, it will be held off until January. Tomorrow, there's going to be a lot of great Christmas activities. Santa's going to be popping all around the district in multiple elementary schools. He just might come to yours. And I'd like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and looking forward to a great 2022.
I am too. Thank you, Dr. Lutz. It's almost Christmas, guys. Can you believe it? I got to tell you a cute story on Facebook this week. My great nephew down in Jacksonville, Florida, his mom had given him some money for the Penguin Patch, or similar to the Penguin Patch, to buy some gifts for his siblings. Well, it happened to be his dad's birthday that day when his mom gave the money to him. So he went into the Penguin Patch and he bought his dad a coffee mug. And he was so excited about this coffee mug. He got in the van when his mom picked him up that afternoon, and it was all wrapped. And he said, I got Dad a birthday present. I got him a birthday present. And she said, well, that's great, but you were supposed to get, gifts for your siblings. No, I bought my dad. He's the best dad. And so she said, okay, well, we'll give it to him when you get home. So his dad got home that evening, and he was so excited to give his dad the gift. And his dad, it's in a little bag, a gift bag, and he opens up the gift, and it says, best uncle ever. Best uncle ever. And so my nephew, Josh, he's like, oh, I love it. I love it. And he said, I thought you would, Dad. He said, it has a shark on it, and I know that you like sharks. And he said, buddy, I do like sharks. I love sharks, and that's what we have in common. So reading that post on Facebook this week, it made me think, I'm getting sentimental, but it made me think if we could all be like that. We get so caught up in the material things, the money, the best gifts ever, trying to outdo one another. But if we can give a gift from the heart, that's the best gift we could ever give anyone. It's not about the money. It's about time. Time that we can never get back. Every day is a gift. So please, this holiday season, Christmas season, surround yourself with those that are in your corner, those that lift you up, those that love you unconditionally, not because you have something that they want or you have something that they could gain, but just because they love you. And I hope each and every one of you have a Merry Christmas, and we'll see you next year. Okay, thank you. Do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I'll
So
make a
moved.
motion.
Have a second?
Second.
Okay, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you.